What is up, you beautiful people? Welcome back to another episode of the Built on Bitcoin podcast, where we're showcasing all of the apps and founders building in the Stacks ecosystem. This is a This Week in Stacks episode where I'm going through what happened in the past 7 days or so. I've been in Hawaii, so I probably missed some things, but I got a few on my list. And yeah, I'm just going to run through this episode real quick because I'm still unpacking and I'm jet lagged and all those things. But anyway, I'm your host, Jake. You'll see me around as Jake Blockchain. And let's just jump into it. So the biggest news that happened earlier on in the week, maybe even at the end of last episode, but I'm not sure if I covered it. Arkadiko has officially launched. If you go to arkadiko.finance, you can play around with it. It is a stable coin that lets you mint a stable coin called USDA, and you can borrow against it with your stacks as collateral, and I think there's more things coming. I've been doing so many other things that I haven't really dug deep into the docs or understanding how it works. I don't understand farming. I kind of understand yielding, but as of right now, I just put a little bit of money into it just to, wet the beak and see what it's about. But yeah, I think that's a big piece that's come to Stacks. DeFi on Bitcoin is officially here. Alex is next. But yeah, go to arkadiko.finance. Check it out if you haven't. Second on the list, there was more back and forth through the week on Twitter, mostly between the Stacks gang and the Bitcoin Maxi side. This time was a lot of someone named Grubles, which I'm not super familiar with, but I think he's pretty high up at Blockstream. And there was also a big debate today between Bitcoin and ETH, where Bitcoin is represented by Dennis Porter and Munib, and ETH was represented by one of the Bankless guys. I think his name's Dustin, and Justin Drake, I believe is his name. And I've listened to about half of it, and I thought it was pretty interesting. Whenever I see these debates, I think it's always good to try and understand and ask the question, what axiom do I have to hold for the things I believe to be true? And there were some nuances in the debates where at one point Munib was talking about, he was comparing proof of work and proof of stake, and how in a proof of stake system, if you're trying to come back after being away, it's hard to know for sure what is the correct state of the chain, I think he was saying. And the idea of trust or verify, don't trust was brought up. And the Ethereum side was making the case that is true, but not just in the way that Nakamoto consensus works with the longest chain is true, but before that in the software you use, like the mining software you use, where you download your stuff, that needs to be questioned more rigorously. And once you are aware of that level of not understanding where your base level foundation starts, it's like you can never fully have a lot of trust unless you're in the code, reading it line by line and knowing what you're working with. And when I heard that, I mean, we download things all the time, and there's like decent mechanisms, it seems like, for that to work. And that was kind of Munib's point. But I mean, they're taking the same fundamental like starting place or argument, but they start in different places. So I thought that was interesting. But let me not ramble too much more. But that was interesting, and you can check that out on the Bankless YouTube channel. Bitgo, which is an institutional platform for asset trading and holding, and they have some insurance programs, so it's supposed to be pretty safe for the big-time players. They have integrated stacks, so more and more integrations. Stoked to see. Something I did on Friday, I had an interview with Jamil, which is the creator of STXNFT and MIAmining.com, which is a mining dashboard. It gives you some stats on how much MIA has been stacked and how much is being committed per block for mining. But he's been working hard on STXNFT, and it's turned into a full-fledged marketplace that's just booming. And I had a great conversation with him. I love the way he thinks. He's such a clear thinker, asking himself the right question to get to the root of a problem. We covered a bunch. We covered how we got into crypto. We covered how he thinks about, the things that we're dealing with as a society, and some of the ways that we can move forward. And on top of his coding background, like how did he get into this? And so that was good. Apologies for being so off the cuff. Like I said, I'm Russian and I'm tired. But last but not least, we had hella NFT drops. I think there was like 15, almost 20 that have dropped in the past week or so. And I'm just going to cover some of the big ones that I was paying attention to. I did buy one. I bought one of the Saints, which is a collection by a guy named Dr. Sus. You can find him at I am Dr. Sus on Twitter. I just love the artwork. They're each somewhat the same. They have the same figure, but the face changes or has some cool art, and each piece really is distinct, which I love a lot. So I bought one of those. Those are dope. Loop Bomb is still minting, which I shouted out in my last episode. And I didn't buy one last time, but I now own one. And I'm actually more and more impressed from a user perspective about what they've done, because the freeze framing interface is pretty dope. And then when you want to mint it, it's smooth. But they actually have a full post transaction sent page where you can see it pending, and there's a bunch of little like pages of data. It's one of the more clean pieces I've seen thus far in the minting process. So I was super impressed with that. I just think it's a sleeper project that is doing great work. So check that out. We also had another the first collection of NFTs that were minted using Miami Coin launched. There's a collection called Futuro del Dinero. And I'm not sure how many pieces were in the collection, but I think they were going for like 3,000 MIA, and they sold out super quick. And I like to see that. Again, that's on STXNFT. So our man Jamil doing this thing. But yeah, more and more, not just Stacks as an asset. We want to see Bitcoin used as a way to pay for things. Miami Coin, tons of options. So I just love to see this kind of like innovation and interoperability. Two more, then we're out. There was a collection called Picasso Magic, which is made by Benny Cage, which you've seen him around because he did the Bitcoin Rocks. And so he has this new collection called Picasso Magic, which is dope. It's some unique styles. They're all kind of like one-of-ones in a sense. And then the big one, as I'm getting winded here, Megapont, the pre-mint went live yesterday. So you've seen them around most likely. There's these NFTs it's like a greenish background and a glowing orange orb with a monkey inside. And tomorrow, I believe, is the day that they reveal. So, yeah. I actually didn't know, this is how dumb I am, that you could buy an NFT and then they could change it out after the fact. I mean, it's all code, so they can do whatever the hell they want, right? But yeah, this is dope to see. Like, you buy the NFT and then you wait, and then they're releasing the roadmap in real time. This kind of like dynamically updating, NFT monkey child kid thing. It was dope. So Megapont is launched. I've also seen some people who seem to be reputable coders shouting out Megapont for their contract and how beautifully designed it is. So if you're a Clarity developer or you want to learn how to do things right, maybe go over to that base contract and take a peek at the clarity code. But yeah, that's all I got for this week. Sorry for being so rough. Your boy is running on 3 hours of sleep, and I've been up for like 16 hours. So, yeah, that's it for this one. I got another episode dropping on Friday with Alon from Open Art Source. And yeah, until then, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Love y'all. Peace.